again with a slightly reduced fibre intake with less banana. But I'm going to mix up the running a little bit. I didn't particularly like running in the evening on the second cycle, but then sometimes it felt good to come home from work and to blow off that steam from the day. Maybe a little bit worked up, and you come home and you go for a run and you get rid of all that energy. So it'll be interesting to see how that compares to running in the morning, which I really enjoyed doing the first cycle. So Monday I'm going to run in the morning, Tuesday I'm going to run in the evening, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, etc. and switch it up a little bit. Also, being the final week, I'm going to push the boat out just a little bit and have 2 massages this week, one on Wednesday and one on a Friday, just to see how things go, see if it's better at the end or if it's great just to have massages every day. That's pretty much it on the changes really. Still going to have a healthy lunch, still going to try and drink water, still going to attempt the breathing techniques, and still going to spend some time with the dogs in the evening, hopefully in the morning, or as much time as possible really, because that really does seem to be working. This is the time at home with the family, with my wife, with the dogs, that's certainly helping. So the first cycle, back to waking up early in the morning to go for a run. That goes okay. I feel fresh, I feel wide awake, the dogs love running around. And although it's difficult to wake up early in the morning, actually I feel that it's kind of good. You blow your cobwebs off, you've gone from being half asleep to being wide awake. And then by the time I get to work, I feel refreshed, I feel buzzing, which is quite nice sometimes. Before I do get to work, I of course have the shake with one less banana, and then we're at work. A very, very busy day on the 31st. The new contract that we had from overseas to really start to kick in. The phone calls the phones were buzzing, everyone was running around and screaming. I didn't feel stressed with any problems, but just a constant work rate being so intense was enough to get me just a little bit stressed, but nothing to cause any major problems. The major problem was, because I was working so hard, because it was so busy, I didn't have enough time for lunch, which was disappointing because I enjoyed having my healthy lunch, but also was a great opportunity to see, does it have an effect? Will skipping lunch, skipping that extra sort of vitamins and healthy eating, will it have an effect on me in the afternoon? So that was going to be quite interesting. Everything goes well until about 2:30, whereas similar to last week with my staff, customer phones up, asks a question. Unfortunately, my staff don't know the answer and are too scared to come and ask me for advice. So the exact same thing, problems. Customer goes crazy, I have to fix the problem. It's a complete mess. And unlike the week before where it was straightforward to sort out, this one was a big issue. Spoke to the customer, called him about a dozen times. Eventually, I say after about 3 hours, 3.5 hours, we got the situation under control and the customer was happy. But again, I didn't get a chance to do any breathing techniques, didn't get a chance to sort of calm down, it was so intense. At the end, I took myself off, sat down and tried to slow my heart rate down by breathing, but